Hey guys, today I'm filming a first impression and follow-up on another foundation. This is on the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I've never tried a cushion foundation before, so I am really excited for this. And the reason I've never purchased a cushion foundation in the past is because those typically might not have as much coverage, but normally they have a really glowy skin effect. And I'm very oily and I like matte skin. So this Maybelline Cushion Foundation is available wherever Maybelline is sold. Ulta, Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Rite Aid, and the price will vary depending on where you purchase it. It is definitely going to be the cheapest at Walmart and Target than it is at Ulta and other drugstores. At Ulta, this foundation retails for $15.99 and it comes in 6 different shades. I have the lightest shade 10 Porcelain. So for the claims, I looked them up on the Ulta website and honestly, they aren't really much of claims. It says Maybelline's increased color pigments deliver complete luminous coverage for fresh face perfection in this Dream Cushion Fresh Face Liquid Foundation. So basically it says complete luminous coverage. When they say complete, I don't know if they're alluding to full coverage, but it definitely says it's going to have a glowy finish, which scares me to death. But those are all the claims. It doesn't claim any wear time or anything like that. So as with all of my first impression and follow-ups, I'm going to be applying the foundation on this side with a sponge and on this side with my brush, using the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge and the Beauty Junkies Flat Top Kabuki Brush. But if you guys know these cushion foundations, they come with a little cushion to apply it. I don't think I'm going to like this, but I will use it, and I'm just going to use it on my forehead. So this is what the foundation looks like. It is just a light tan packaging, white cap, tan sticker, and it does say the shade name on the front. Inside you have a mirror, which is nice. Then you have this little puff here to apply the product. Then underneath is this little flap, which helps keep the product nice, sealed, compact, so the sponge is not going to dry out. You have this little safety cover here, and then there is the actual cushion with the foundation in it. So now I'm just going to start applying this foundation with the sponge side. So just dabbing my sponge right in, which is already weird for me. And ooh, okay. Pretty good coverage so far. Blending super easily. Color actually might even be a little bit light, but it just blends out so freaking fast. Yeah, color's light, but look how quickly this blended out. Right now, I'd probably say we have light medium coverage with one layer. It does kind of smell funny, kind of chemically. I don't know. It's not super strong, but it smells kind of funky. So here is one layer of foundation applied with a sponge versus no foundation. This is actually decent coverage with one layer. Now I'm going to apply it with this little puff that comes with it to my forehead. Ugh, this just seems more gross to me. I know you can wash these, but like, how? So I'm gonna, ugh. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that at all. If you guys can see, I have foundation on this side, not on this side. It looks like it gave no coverage. It completely soaked up into the puff. So change of plans. We're not doing that again. I'm just gonna pick up some more on the sponge and go cover this side. Look how much better. Look how much better that is. So do not use the sponge that comes with it, because I mean, you guys saw for yourselves, like freaking no coverage over here at all, but with the Real Techniques sponge, so much better. So now going into the brush side, I'm just gonna dip my brush right into the product, which again feels so weird. Just pressing this into my skin, giving good coverage. I feel like I need to go back in for more product though. Okay, so originally I thought that gave more coverage, but I feel like as I'm going back over it, it's almost taking some of the product away and I'm seeing more of my redness come through. So this is one layer applied with a sponge versus one layer applied with a brush. Almost every time I do one of these videos, a brush gives a little bit more coverage or it's about the same, but for this one, I think the sponge application worked way better than the brush. So now I'm going to apply a second layer to see if this is buildable. It definitely was buildable. I'd say we probably have medium coverage. I can still see some of my redness and my freckles, but I'd say maybe we have medium. So here's 2 layers applied with a sponge versus 1 layer applied with the brush. I don't know, I just don't like it. It feels weird pressing into my skin because this foundation is so wet. I don't know. So here is 2 layers of foundation applied with the sponge versus 2 layers of foundation applied with a brush. Definitely more coverage on the sponge side, which is seriously just blowing me away right now. 2 layers with a brush looks like it should only be 1 layer with how light that coverage is. And this sponge was absolutely a joke. So now that I have my foundation on, I'm going to apply some under eye concealer, set my face with the RCMA No Color Powder, which is not going to give me any color coverage or mattify me. It's just going to set my skin so that it is no longer tacky. Right now it is 11 a.m. so I will check back in with you guys in 4 hours. Hey guys, it is 3 p.m. and I am back for my first check-in. I've had this foundation on for 4 hours. So after I applied it, I think I was so excited about the coverage that I totally forgot to talk to you guys about the glow, and it was definitely very luminous. It didn't look oily or greasy, but I did look dewy all over. But when I did set my face with the RCMA powder, it did completely go away, which I'm happy with because y'all know I'm gonna get oily and my own dewiness is gonna come through. At this 4 hour mark, I'm definitely shiny. If you guys can see, my forehead is quite reflective. I'm also oily on the inner part of my cheek, the side of my nose, and on my chin. I did start to notice that I was oily about 3 hours in, which is a little bit quicker than I normally get oily, but I'm not dripping in oil and it hasn't broken up my makeup yet, but I think it looks so good. It feels like I have nothing on my skin. So I'm actually way more impressed with this foundation than I thought I would be, but we will see how this lasts on me for 12 hours. So I am going to check back in with you guys in another 4 hours. Hey guys, it is 7 p.m. so I am back for my second check-in of the day. I have had this foundation on for 8 hours and I am definitely oily throughout my T-zone, very oily. Also, the foundation has started to rub off on my chin, on this inner part of my cheek. Definitely seeing more redness here now than I did earlier in the day. So I would not consider this to be a extremely long wearing foundation if you have oily skin. So it seems like 8 hours and it starts to go downhill. It isn't looking terrible yet by any means, but I'm definitely able to see that it is starting to wear away. It isn't necessarily breaking apart, but just wearing away. So now I'm going to blot with 1 piece of toilet paper. And this is what the tissue looks like. I did have a little bit of transfer. Right here is a lot of foundation that came off my nose. I accidentally wiped too hard, just fumbled a little bit. So obviously don't be wiping your face too hard. But other than that, it looks okay. I think it may have lifted off a little bit of foundation where I was really oily, but it's looking okay. Right now, it definitely looks like I have light coverage because of how it's wearing away. So I will have a text post at the end of the night once it's been a full 12 hours. Hey guys, I am back for the follow-up of the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. Today I will be inserting this product into my everyday routine so I can get a more accurate picture of how this might actually work for me. So I'm going to start by priming my skin. I'm going to use the Lorac Perfection Mattifying Face Primer all over and the Makeup Forever Step 1 Smoothing Primer just in my large pores. Just taking a little bit of the Lorac primer, rubbing it between my fingers, and I'm going to apply this all over my skin. And taking a bit of the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer, pressing this between my fingers, and then I'm going to press this into my large pores, and then I'm going to sweep towards the outside of my face. So now for the foundation. Yesterday I applied it with both a brush and a sponge, and as you remember from my reaction, I thought the sponge applied it way better, gave way more coverage, so that is what I'll be doing today. So here's 1 layer of foundation applied all over my skin. With 1 layer, I say we have a very strong light medium, leaning medium coverage. And here is 2 layers of foundation applied all over. Right now, I definitely say we have high, medium, leaning towards full coverage. So now that we're done with foundation, I'm going to apply my under eye concealer and setting powder off camera. So this is what it looks like after under eye concealer and setting powder. My concealer is a little bit lighter than my skin, but not too much. So the difference between concealer and foundation isn't too intense right now. And I am going to set my face with powder. I am going to be using my trusty Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Powder in 100 Translucent, which is not actually translucent. It's very fair with a yellow undertone. And I'm going to apply it with my Real Techniques powder brush. This is going to help give me some color, completely set my face, but it isn't going to pack on too much extra coverage because this is a big fluffy brush. So I just set this half of my face, and this half of my face is not set. Maybe it lightened it a little bit, but it doesn't look too ghostly, so that's good. And here's what my skin looks like after I have applied my face powder. So right now it is 11 a.m. I'm gonna check back in with you guys about halfway throughout the day to give you guys my final thoughts. Throughout that time, I will be touching up whenever I need to, using 1 piece of toilet paper, and then I will re-powder with a little bit of Rimmel Stay Matte powder in the translucent shade. Hey guys, it is 5 p.m. so I've had this foundation on for 6 hours, and I'm back to give you guys my final thoughts. So as far as for how it wore today in my everyday routine, I've just been having a bad makeup day, but up close, I do not like the way my face looks. From far away, it looks okay, but up close, it looks so cakey. I felt like in order to fully set my skin where it wasn't feeling tacky any longer, I had to apply a lot of powder. Even when I went off camera, I went and felt my face, and I found a lot of areas that still felt tacky, so I had to apply more powder, and then it looks kind of cakey, so I didn't like that at all. And it could be because I need to wash my brushes. I was just having a bad makeup day. I'll have to update you. But I was really bummed and surprised that I liked it less today than I did when I tried it out by itself, setting it with that RCMA no color powder. It did wear pretty well. I did start to get oily throughout my T-zone at about 4 hours, which is pretty good and pretty standard for me. So final thoughts on this foundation. I do think it has a good color selection. This shade was even a little bit light for me, especially when I used that Maybelline powder on top. It made it a little too light. I really do like the coverage of this foundation. I would say that with 2 layers, you have high, medium coverage. I really recommend applying this with a beauty sponge because I got the most coverage. It looked very flawless and airbrushed. Also, it was super quick and easy to apply, way quicker than any other foundation that I apply. So I really love that, and it wasn't messy. This would be a foundation that'd be great for quick makeup days because it's just so simple and easy to put on. The only thing I really don't like about this foundation is that it is very glowy, but that's something I do expect with cushion foundations. And I definitely get very dewy. I completely have to set this. I do get oilier a little bit quicker throughout the day. But for someone that has very, very oily skin, this does hold up on my skin way better than I thought it was going to. This is not a 12-hour foundation for me because by the end of the day, it starts to wear off my skin. My oils are really breaking through. But if I'm having a shorter day or if I want more quick, easy makeup, this is definitely something I'm going to be reaching for. But my final thoughts are that I like this, but I don't love it. I will use it up, but it's definitely not something I'm going to repurchase. But again, I liked it a lot better than I thought I was going to. So overall, pretty good feelings on this. But if you are someone with oily skin that wants to also look dewy, then you might really like this one. And of course, if you have dry or normal skin and want a glowy finish, this would probably be really great for you as well. So guys, that was my first impression and follow-up on the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I would love to know your experience if you guys have tested out this product. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.